Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the Coffee Cast Procast Edition, where I am bringing you guys game number 3 between Monchi and TSL Polt. We are going to be spawning on apparently the winter version of Belshire Beach. I love this map just because of the way it looks. I think it's pretty. I don't really have any commentary into the balance of it. Because I don't actually know all that much about it. I've only played on it a few times before. So we do have Monchi spawning on the top left side as our green Protoss for this final game, and TSL Polt spawning on the lower right hand side as the red Terran. Now, I feel like both players executed their game fairly well in the last game. Monchi just overextended himself a little bit trying to drive TSL Polt away. Polt had a beautiful 3 racks, 2 medevac push into Monchi's base, followed that up with a couple more racks, and just kept on pumping Marauders out and a couple Marines every once in a while out of his 1 reactor barracks, and was finally able to just kind of whittle Monchi down to nothing, while slowly building up his forces more and more, and was able to take game number 2. Game number 1, we saw Monchi kill off Polt with a beautiful 6-gate robo timing attack on cross positions Tal'Darim Altar. So we are tied up 1-1 in this series right now. Best of 3 from the Zotac Cup, which is a daily or a weekly tournament, not really sure which. And I just want to say I love PvT. I don't know why, but I love PvT. And I think that there's so much you can do with the matchup. I think there's underused units like the Raven. I mean, Raven's just underused altogether. I would love to see some Raven games. For those of you Terran players out there watching this, send me some games of you using Ravens, especially so with that Hunter Seeker missile. I really want to see that. Send those to coffeebreak.weebly, not coffeebreak. Let's try that again. Coffeebreak1337 at gmail.com. That's coffeebreak with an O, 1337 at gmail.com. Send those to me and I will cast those, because I really want to see some uses of that Hunter Seeker missile in any matchup. It can be, you know, versus Terran, versus Protoss, or versus Zerg. I just want to see some innovative uses of that. That would be great. That'd be absolutely great. And Protoss players, send me a game of you using carriers. There we have it. I want to see carriers. Once again, coffeebreak1337 at gmail.com. If you have any games like that, I would really, really appreciate it. Be it a verse on a ladder game versus a friend. Just get some out for us here. Let's see some fun games. It does look like Polt might be going for a bit of harassment in this game, a little bit of an early push, as we do have a tech lab going down on a second barracks, rather than having this 1 rack expand that we've been seeing out of Polt. So, and only 1 gas here, so yes, we're going to have concussive shells, so it's just going to be a concussive push probably. I doubt that he'll wait for stim. Over on the Protoss side of things, we're actually not seeing an expansion out of him either, so it looks like he did get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in this game. And actually, no, doesn't really have an idea. I guess he just kind of has a gut feeling. Might have tried poking up this ramp, seeing the Marines there, seeing the Marine numbers, deciding to lay down 2 extra gateways instead of going for that expansion. Gonna have this 1 Lone Stalker being pushing out across the map, meet up his buddy over at the watchtower there. And I would say the Monchi is going to be well prepared for this. And if he can get some units out fairly quickly, we see Warp Gate almost finished there. That's going to help him quite a bit. Actually, oh my goodness, going for a Dark Shrine Rush. So I don't think this has anything to do with what he scouted. I think that this is just his fallback strategy in this game. His Warp Gate's going to be finishing fairly shortly here. There's only going to be 1 command center on the field for scanning, which is going to be dropping mules. So depending on the timing of this, could potentially do quite a bit of damage. And now, not revealing too much of his army there, Polt destroyed that probe, but I think the damage was done. I think that Monchi saw what he needed to see. And his Warp Gate is finished, so he's going to be able to get plenty of units out to go ahead and defend against us. I don't know if Polt saw that Dark Shrine. Indeed, he did. I don't know if he clicked on it or not. That's going to be kind of that important factor. Losing 1 Stalker prematurely, that's always an unfortunate circumstance. Going to be falling all the way back home, where he really doesn't have that much on the field right now. the Dark Shrine is about to finish. If he can just hold out just long enough to finish up that Dark Shrine, he will be able to hold off in this attack, I feel, as we have enough for one scan currently, but not a second one, so it does look like Polt probably does know about the Dark Shrine. Falling back as far as he can into his base. Dark Shrine, oh, just seconds away from finishing. Needs that to finish up to be able to hold off against this attack, because this is going to be a very, very scary push. We do have these Marauders with the Concussor Shells doing quite a bit of damage to the forces of the Terran, warping in one Dark Templar, getting 2 kills off of those Marines. One scan is dropped, making sure to only warp in one Dark Templar with that scan. There we go, managing to keep that Dark Templar alive. A second scan will need to go down to protect that Dark Templar. Beautiful control by Monchi to separate those Dark Templar, just to make sure that they didn't all die at once with one single scan. Being very safe with those, and now with all the Marauders dead, I really don't feel like Monchi's going to be able to, Polt's going to be able to do all that much damage. And now we see just now getting that extra energy for another scan. Getting, is there an engineering bay on the field? There we go, the engineering bay, to go ahead and start throwing up some missile turrets. And the second orbital command, I'm having problems finding. Gosh, it's right there next to the first orbital command. Getting the second orbital command as well, that'll help with scans, and just in general, you know, your general muling power as well. Forward pylon is in place, however, Monchi looking like he wants to do a little bit of damage. I like the fact that he's sticking with primarily Zealots and Stalkers, and actually morphing in an Archon, knowing that his opponent knows about this Dark Templar. Once your opponent is prepared for Dark Templar, they really can't do all that much damage, because they are super, super fragile units, only having 120 health. But with this Archon, 350 health, that is a lot, and it's going to be able to tank a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage back versus the biological forces, doing that 35 damage versus the biological forces of Polt. And Polt really doesn't have all that much to defend with. It looks like he might find himself in a little bit of trouble when Monchi does decide to push in. A couple of Stalkers are on the field, as well as Zealots, just going for this one base. Oh my goodness, there are 5 gateways off of one base. I don't know if you can produce off that. That's a little bit questionable. Pushing straight up the ramp, killing the missile turret at the front, forcing the lift off of this orbital command. If he can manage to side this orbital command, that would be absolutely huge. Instead, going for that supply depot to let his units get into the base. Running up, getting that Archon in there head first, going to be going ahead and sending that straight in. The Archon's going to be able to do so much splash damage to either the biological units or the SCVs, whichever one he decides to take out. The SCV being pulled into the fray, never a good thing. The Archon has not quite fallen yet, pulling that out of the fray, has gotten 12 kills before finally being taken down, and it looks like Monchi's going to be able to take this game very nicely with a good hold with those Dark Templar in that early game. The Archon, once again, being such a crucial unit in there, getting 12 of those kills in that engagement. I loved the decision to morph those into an Archon. If your Dark Shrine play ever fails, don't worry, pull those Dark Templar out, don't lose them, make them an Archon. Super, super powerful unit. A well-executed game by Monchi, having a different build order for each game, not wanting to show the same type of build twice. And even, you saw there, even Polt, knowing that those Dark Templar were on the field, was not able to quite hold off against it when he did that 2 racks push, and eventually did fall in the end right before getting his medevacs out, unfortunately for him. A beautifully played game by both players, though. I really liked this entire series. A great matchup. And I want to thank you guys all for joining me here on the Coffee Cast, because I am doing all these procasts offline now, which means I can get better quality games for you guys, hopefully, in the rights of graphics and less lag. And hopefully I'll be able to pick up some extra players as well, as I don't feel so pressured to, you know, have games every single Monday, Friday. I'll just kind of be checking around, and anytime I see a nice matchup, I will go ahead, pull that down, and cast it for you guys. If you have not already, comment and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it when you guys do that. Go ahead, you can see the general links over on the bottom left side of your screen right now. Go ahead and subscribe to all of those. It helps me a lot. I am going to go ahead and log off and eat some lunch, because I'm hungry. So until next time, thank you for joining me, folks. You guys are what keep me doing this. This is Coffee Break, signing out.